Hi guys, part two. Well, I was about to go through my abyss, the hardest time of my life, but the most amazing time. I'm grateful for going through what I went through, but it was really, really hard, guys. I was so not expecting that, and I was so not prepared. My life had not been like that. Jamor, life was prepared for that. I wasn't. Or I didn't think I was. Um, so we were at Jamor's place. Yeah, Jamor was just feeding me constantly, and telepathically he was talking to me like it is, it is, it is. He was camouflaging things like seeds and spices, mean things that they were calling to rise my frequency, which I will review in another video. So all of that is coming. So gradually I was getting my strength back, and then I was getting ready, making beautifying myself. I just done my hair, I was just needed pampering. And suddenly I remember that my current Milan account had my ex-partner's credit card. I thought, revenge. So I went to Karen Milan and I spent £5,000 on clothes. Boots, I was amazing, guys, amazing. I bought the nicest leather jacket. I was drawn towards, the Matrix movie, like Trinity, which has got this, black leather. I thought, hey, if I'm gonna go through this journey and this battle, I'm gonna go through with the style. I was amazing. I got all the clothes. Yeah, it was great. He got really grumpy. I ordered an iPad. I ordered quite a few things, a new phone. £10,000. He has lots of money. He's in, part of the metrics, so it's the least he could do. Yeah. So anyway, lots of reptilians were coming in and out, and Jamor was welcoming them. Um, and I was, why are you letting them in? And he telepathically was still, I could. You see, the thing, guys, that you need to realize that the reason why Jamor appeared in my reality is because my coaches and Nathan and my ex-partner were not able to control my mind. So they had to call the top, what they thought was a reptilian of the hierarchy that was the most powerful in my control. And he's a double agent. So they call him to come and control my mind. So he could not let them know that he was there to help me. Telepathically, he was telling me. But according to them, he was there to control my mind, because I could hear them asking him what's happening, why is it not still done? And he was saying, look, it's a protection. I don't know, but I'll get there. She's falling in love with me. We can tell that, yeah? So at least we've got that, yeah? So they had no alternative that let him, do the job, because he was the only one that had a chance to actually control me, and they could feel that I was falling in love with him. So they thought, well, I'm sure, she'll believe him, and then she'll return back to Nathan. So his life was to make my life really, really difficult, so I would have no alternative but to go back to Nathan and spend all my money. So I have in so much money for the coaching and for what's happening. He appeared to be destroying me while he was helping me, and I knew, so I had to let him, so that he would shout at me, so that he could keep me. He strangled me. It took me 6 months to recover, because they were trying to take over his mind, and he had to allow it. And telepathically said to me, I'm really sorry. Yeah, but I have to do that. We need to deceive them. So I had to play the game. I was scared of Jamor, because he turned into a beast. But that was how he was a spiritual double agent. He had to be the best trickster to be able to do this, and he was trained by Father God. So the role had to be played to perfection, but it was constant shout. It was chaos. But I could see, obviously, if you met Yamor now, he's the nicest person on the planet. The ones who's come on board of his crypto program, you'll see how lovely he is. But he was playing a different role at the time. If he didn't convince them that he was in charge of my mind, then they would send a whole army after me. So, he had to be pretending he was there to break me, and went back to Nathan and my coaches while he was protecting me, till the point that would realize that he was on my side. Yeah, because obviously then they would target him as well. So, what Jamor did is turn the wheel around. I said, look, the shadows are coming after you, but now, that was telling me telepathically, we are going to go after the shadows. I'm going to face every single one of them. I thought, great. Can you do it on your own? And my soulmate, I had enough. I was, with my metric suit, I actually, I lost the jacket and I had to buy a replacement jacket and I had to buy a replacement. So I've got my metric suit still with me, yeah, just in case. um, and I should have worn that, isn't it? And it was non-stop walking. It was non because they took my ODTT with 3,000 pounds on it. Actually, the police took it and they didn't give it back. They've taken all my possessions, guys. Yeah, so we had to take buses, walk everywhere. Then they froze my accounts and eventually his account. So we had no money. He had to record people on the train so they could ask everybody for the ticket, and then it would come to us. I would be shaking. Oh my god, we don't have the money. And it's like if we didn't exist. It was amazing. He was controlling everything. I mean, Jamor was just like a god. That I was so in love with him, somebody with that power. But then he, in the middle of the street, he started swearing at everybody like he was crazy because they were reptilians. But the rest of the human race was there. So you know what I mean, yeah? Food was left for us on the street. Like if like cup of tea there, like if it was strong money, we would find money on the street. So the earth angels, they were helping us to survive. Because after 10 months, they froze all of our account. They were working out that he might not be on their side and he might be on my side. They didn't know for sure. So we had to survive to the help of the earth angels. And there was days I didn't eat. And it was really hard, guys, and they were following all the time. So what Jamor was doing is, we're gonna go to this place, we're gonna take this bus. He would tell me the whole itinerary. So we get ready, we're gonna go in 10 minutes. I would get ready and then waiting for 2 hours. Basically what he was saying wasn't what it was happening. Yeah, because he could not tell when we are gonna go where to face the shadows. So sometimes we could go to one place to get the bus, and another one. I remember once we walked the same place for 7 hours. I was exhausted. Yeah. And eventually I found some money to get a burger and chips. That was delicious. So we begin to go and face all the shadows, guys. And there were a lot of them, yeah. So it couldn't tell about, we could just talk randomly, 12 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., nighttime, just to annoy them, yeah. Hi, we're hungry, blah, 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 to his family. He was showing me his family. I met his mom and dad and his uncles, up reptilians. They were doing incantations to control my mind. I thought, oh my God, the family that he's born with. That poor, and I thought I had that with my mom and my sister, but these ones are so much worse. They're so evil. He was swearing at them. I mean, he was a beast. They used to call him the beast, as, in the Masonic system, because he would, he was designed to turn really evil if he wanted to. But I know his heart, my soulmate, he's a piece of gold. He had to do what he had to do. Guys, they were trying to kill me. I mean, the amount of times I was hearing, when they were coming after me, ambulances, because the people after me were actually being killed. I remember somebody who tried to trick me with something. And the day after, he was on the newspapers dead. So it was a serious thing. They were after my life, and they were being killed for doing so. It was a whole spiritual army. Jamor was showing me where the Illuminati seat was, Watford, where he was born, guys. What you see in Watford is not what is not, that's like a veil. There's all really wealthy there, and they are all there. And he was showing me all of this, and I thought, but Watford is like a shithole, but it's not. It's what they make us. It's like what my coach's place. I thought, this is disgusting, but it wasn't to them. They would shift the illusions. Although I was seeing the reality, I was seeing how filthy it was. Yeah, because of their energy. It was just really, really strange. Um, One night, I remember we had to sleep on the street, so he took me to the park, and it was raining, and he put 2 umbrellas. So we're gonna sleep here. And so, isn't that lovely under the stars? I thought, you got to be kidding me. This is like being homeless. I'm not used to this. Yeah, but I had to. Yeah, and then we could go to reptilian places and get clothes from them, food, And I faced I slapped a few of them, actually, for how dare you go against the source, and I was grumpy, tired, I had enough. But then something began to happen, guys. Every time we failed, we went to see the reptilians plenty of time. The last time we went to see them, when it could be the last time, Jamor could come. We bought a cheap car just to be able to, to move from one place to another. Or we took it from a reptilian. We took two cars from reptilians. Yeah, we became like fields of reptilians, guys. We would leave. He would come with me to the car, and he said to me, "Oh, I forgot my sunglasses." That's so typical. I said, "We'll go and get them," and he could go, and he had done that purposely. Something happened. I was in the car. He was inside the house, and I could hear what was happening. Basically, it was a spiritual battle with Jamor. Obviously, he had some helpers, and I could feel him destroying that shadow. I thought, my God, he's exterminated. I said, great, it's great. One less. I thought, wow, he's doing that. He's in charge to neutralize them. That's absolutely great. And then we went to the next one, and then we went to the next one, and then I couldn't hear from them again. But there were lots, so I was constantly doing that. And then, surprise, surprise, my sister teamed up with the reptilian, and she was there in the whole battle. At the same time, Father and Mother God were dealing with originators. Obviously, they couldn't exterminate them because that's, our brothers and sisters. So they were trying to make them see sense and the followers. So they were doing all of that behind the scenes. But I knew, I knew what was happening. And one of the things that the originators said to Father and Mother God is like, well, they're unconditional love. They cannot destroy them, but can they not? Yeah. So that was the situation. I thought it must be coming to an end. I had the police constantly after me. You don't know how many times I was in custody for nonsense, for going to Jamor parents and they got scared of us, which we didn't. Actually, they were trying to record my mind and do incantations, so they were turning everything against us. For Jamor driving my car without insurance. So what is my car? For nonsense like that, constantly. I mean, I wasn't going to prison, but constantly in, out, in, out, in, out. It was the Metropolitan Police. I'll do a video about them. They're the worst of the worst of the worst. I had them throughout my abyss, throughout, facing all the shadows. Cars of the police constantly, around me, constantly following. I had enough of the police, And once, Jamor wanted to show me some more revelations, but we had so much policemen and so many reptilians targeting us that he wanted to escape, and you won't believe what happened. Jamor was driving with his legs. I don't know who was doing the pedals on the car, and with his hands. I could feel like little robot demons coming towards me, and he was pew, pew. I couldn't say it, but pew, pew, pew. And he was driving, so I was so scared, guys. I thought we're gonna crash. We didn't, and then he took me to a place, no policeman there. We sat down, we relaxed for a while, and then he took me back to my childhood and why I was living there. And I thought, oh my God, oh my God, he revealed a lot of things to me, and everything was making sense. And then I got strengthened. Because I told him, look, I'm really scared here. The things that you are doing. I love you very much, but I'm not used to it. I said, we have to go through it. You chose it. I said, well, I changed my mind. We cannot, we need to do what the source. So don't you think that the source, as Mother and Father God, are having it worse than we do, Amor? One day he decided to go in the middle of Watford. He bought a pizza. We were not hungry. But the pizza wasn't to be eaten. He went to a place, and then he got the pizza and began to throw it to the restaurant everywhere. He made a complete mess. And the woman came up, are you doing that? And looking at me as I've got nothing to do with that. Yeah. And then they got into a fight, and he was winding her up, and suddenly she began to speak a reptilian Egyptian language. And then Jamor answered back in reptilian Egyptian language, and he was showing to me, look, see, they're reptilians. Yeah, and then the earth angels would come like ready, like, don't worry, if there is a fight, we're here protecting you. Thanks God for that. They were everywhere. So as we faced them, then he would have forgotten something there. He could go. Again, I could hear everything, neutralized. So it went one by one, by one, by one, by one. I thought, oh my God. Yeah. obviously some people were not neutralized because there was a chance for them to change, like my sister, still in my reality. Yeah, we're still giving her a chance, although it's a complete nightmare. So my mom was off there as well. Oh, couldn't believe when my own family, you know what I mean? He was used to his own family targeting him. I knew they were not nice, but I didn't know they were going to go against me and trying to destroy me. It was crazy. Everybody was in love with Amor because of being the beast and the most powerful and the more evil, as they said, you know, the one who can control everybody's mind. So we were out and reptilian. We were just throwing at him. And I was, this is a joke. He was laughing as well. And I was to tell them, do you really think he's going to go with you? You're an idiot. He's in love with me. We are soulmates. I used to go. And then one day, guys, he took me to heaven. You know heaven in London? Most of you know it, isn't it? It's full of reptilians. They've got like a garden where everybody's smoking, enjoying, and getting high. The police doesn't go there. There is rooms to have sex. A joke. He took me there to say it, and somebody from the Chase, you know, the Chase, the program, was there on reception. I thought, I can't believe this is happening. Yeah. And Jamor used to take me to restaurants, you know, when he actually was deceiving me that he was going to control my mind. And I was paying him. He was taking all my cars and all my money. And they were paying him for me being there. I was like a showcase. People taking pictures of me. I have no idea. Yeah, the reptilians, not the human race, the reptilians, yeah. But then something happened, guys. That was amazing. You don't know that, you don't remember, but you will on time. I know this is hard to believe, but I think for about 24 hours, you all got enlightened. You were awakened and you saw what was happening. And it was really sweet because, oh my God, you took the side of Mother and Father God. And you went against the originators, and you went against all of us that they were the reptilians. I remember Jamal showing me a text that one of the reptilians' ex said to me, oh, you know, that some people just came on the street and put me on, you know, you went for it and punched them. We told you telepathically not to. I mean, the source told you to, you know, to be enlightened, but to play the game, but some of them couldn't help it. You were very impulsive and you tried you were helping us out. And I remember one of you were drunk and we were in a restaurant, again, because the restaurant owner was a reptilian, and one of you came and said, can I have a selfie? I love you so much. And you were hugging me, and we did give you a selfie. But then, you know, indeed, you were, you said, oh, his hair, and he's, you know, it's Amor and he's Jamor, and they're here to help us. And, you know, it was amazing because this is in preparation for the final awakening. It was incredible. You couldn't stop coming to me. So we love your outfit because you knew what we were doing. You know what it was being doing to us. But you didn't last long. Then you were, you know, the message was too strong. You were put back to sleep. But that's in preparation. That's what I'm telling you. We are very, very near the end, guys. You know, these things that Jamor was doing was to show to me that was my shadows. But there is an army doing the same, and Mother and Father God, which is, you know, neutralizing the whole of the shadows. And I'll show you how they're doing it and how they're disguising it. So it's going to come in part 3, but in part 3, Father God is going to talk to you a little bit before the revelation. So I'll see you in part 3, guys.